Hello my friends, and welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We're painting a very moody autumn sunset inspired by Nil Artsy Cove. I have my piece of paper in portrait position with the borders taped, just using regular Scotch tape. And yeah, I've kind of been into like these speed paintings lately where I try not to dwell on each step too much. I just kind of paint and go with the flow. So one thing I want to keep in mind is to keep one section fairly white because there's going to be a sun. I'm just debating how to tackle that. Maybe I should do it first. So yeah, so I'm going to grab yellow. And you want to think of each section, like we're basically going to have 3 sections of this painting. The bottom is going to be like the smallest section, and then the middle will be the largest, and then the top will be the second largest. So how do I do this? Okay, so my sun is going to be in that top third, and what I'm going to do is paint a circle with yellow and leave the inside white. We'll deal with that hopefully before it dries. And I rinsed my brush so there was just water on it, and I kind of spread that out. And then you can start grabbing like oranges and browns and whatnot. I'm not going to use straight up orange because mine is extremely orange, like pumpkin orange. So I mixed my orange with a bit of brown just to calm it down a bit. And then I'm kind of bordering the yellow with that color. And so I'm just going to give myself a rough little guide here of where the first third is going to end. Although we're gonna extend it probably, so it doesn't really matter. And then, so I'm making a circle, fading it into a bit of a more brownish color. And then I want to fade it into basically like a black or a gray, something like that. Now I'm rinsing my brush, and I'm trying to make that transition a little bit more gradual. In fact, I'm going to switch brushes so it's clean, and I kind of blended that yellow in. I'm going to take toilet paper, and dab the very inside of that because I want it to be nice and bright. And I'm going around again, dabbing it. That was a bit too much dabbing. And yeah, I'm just kind of repeating this over and over, trying to get a nice gradual transition there. And so I need a little bit more color on the bottom here. I do want it to be a bit more orange down there. Even some like maroon, which we'll probably go over in a moment. It'll be like a mountain range going on here. That was way too much. It's so tricky to kind of get exactly the gradient that I'm looking for, and I bet if I had that masking fluid. Probably make it a whole lot easier, but before that dries, I do want to paint sun rays coming out from the sun. So just make sure you rinse your brush in between each stroke so that you don't paint the center. And I want to really quickly paint just down below here with kind of a watered down brown. I'm going to just switch brushes so that I have more coverage. And actually I'll just go all the way down because we could do the bottom section separately. Like so. And while that is wet, because I just wanted like a colorful base there, or not to have white as the base, I'm just gonna have brown streaks going across. And then the center, I want some yellow in there for the sun. And we're also going to be lifting some of this off. So one way is to like rinse your brush in between each stroke and try to lift it off that way, but I feel like that would take forever. So what I'm doing is I'm folding my piece of toilet paper kind of like that, so I have an edge, and I'm dabbing that down. So it's a bit thicker than I wanted, so I'm gonna just go over that by taking that original color, going in from the side and trying to separate it with like thinner streaks, if that makes sense. And you can have like various colors, so I'm gonna pop some bit of orange in there. I want it to be a tad bit darker as well. Sort of like that. And I feel like letting this dry the way it is before we do our final step, although I'm just gonna add a little bit here at the bottom because I know that I am going to not overlap it by that much. Okay, I'm gonna blow dry this and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so this should be dry. We're gonna just add a bit of like a mountain horizon situation at the top. I'm taking brown with maroon, and I'm gonna taper it off so it's gonna be wider on the edges and then going upwards a bit. And you can just have yours like this, or you can tilt your paintbrush horizontally and just add some, I don't know, like tree line shapes to make it irregular. It's up to you. I kind of wish I actually left it just flat, because not everything has to be ultra detailed. And I do want to take that same maroon, but just pop in a little bit of brown and then have a bit of a reflection. Doesn't have to be super precise, like I'm kind of doing the streaky thing that I did earlier and just tapering it off the further I get away from the horizon line, like so. And okay, now I'm going to take probably that same maroon color mixed with a bit of brown, and I'm gonna have that last third, so it's obviously not a complete third because it's significantly smaller than the others, but it's kind of my third section that we're going to be working on. So mine's going to be tapered. You don't have to taper yours if you don't want to. I do need to add a little bit of black to make it a bit darker. It's a bit too dark. Something like that. And I'm going to line it with almost black. I have a bit too much water on my paintbrush. So I'm literally just lining that top with black, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint on some grass or some reeds with as thin brush strokes as possible. So you can go ahead and switch to a liner brush if you have one. Kind of like a cheat that I have done in the past is just switching to a very fine tip marker or a black pen. That'll do the job as well if your brush selection does not allow for these kinds of details. But I love this grabby brush because not only is it a round brush, so I used it for the majority of this painting, but it's also fine enough at the tip that I can do these tiny grass brush strokes. So I'm very happy with it. The other thing I would like to do is paint a tree. So I'm gonna grab black and it's gonna start here. Just have to water it down a tad. And as we go up past the sun, I do want to be mindful to make it lighter. So I'll go up to here. Oh shoot, this is still wet. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly blow dry this. Okay, so it should be dry now, but because of that little mishap, I do have to widen the base so that I can fix that. And I'll just have the other one coming out as well. So, right, the reason why I stopped there is because now oh my gosh, why do I do that? I feel like I do that in so many paintings. Yeah, so I'm gonna rinse my brush and I'm gonna pick up that maroon color that I've been working with mixed with a bit of brown. And that is what I'm gonna use to continue on. Even more watered down, I would say. And then you can transition back into the black as you kind of go further away from the sun again. I made my tree a little too big, in my opinion. I kind of got out of hand real quick. But anyway, and then the base, I'm gonna switch back to the black because I want to have shadows since the sun is obviously shining towards us. So we're gonna have shadows coming off of this tree. Like so. And I mean, you can go ahead and add more like details to the branches if you want, in terms of the little twigs attached. But I think I'm just gonna end it there. I'm just gonna fix this transition first because it's kind of strange. You can't really see it. I'll just stop. So I think that's where I'm gonna end it. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Of course, don't forget to peel off the tape to reveal nice clean borders. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment, and I will be sure to see you in the next tutorial.